Hi everyone, it's Roxanne, and today is episode 2 of the Bed Confessional series. And today I'm going to talk about communication. So, to start, I'm going to talk about something that has happened to me at work, like a week ago. Until then, I was getting along with every single one of my colleagues, whether they were, behind the bar, they were a waiter or a waitress like me, manager, whatever. I haven't had an issue with anybody, and I was getting along with everyone until out of nowhere, one girl that I was working with, let's call her Mina, until last week. Mina started not saying hello to me, not saying goodbye to me. Uh, while we were working, she wasn't talking to me. She was making these angry faces at me. When I was, you know, taking dirty dishes off tables, she would kind of like bump into me or push me around. And I had no clue what was going on because the weekend before, we went out for brunch. So I was like, a week ago we had brunch together, and then a week later you're so cold to me out of nowhere. I have no clue what's going on. And I thought maybe she's just having a bad week. So I kept being super nice, super sweet. I was trying not to take it personally because that's all you can do, basically. And at some point, I realized that she was targeting me because she was not doing that to anybody else at work. So I had to kind of build up the courage to go talk to her because it's something that I kind of still struggle with. Going up to people and telling them, hey, something's been going on. I can see it. I can feel it. I'm not blind. Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to tell me what's going on? Let's be upfront. Let's have a grown up conversation about this. So I finally did. I went up to Mina and I said, "Hey, sweetie, I could you tell me what's wrong? I feel like you're upset with me and I don't know why." And she said, "Yeah, a couple days ago there was a book on top of my purse and you took the book and looked at it. And I hate when people touch my stuff." And I was just baffled because I was like, "Okay. Oh, all right. I can understand this is your personal boundary. You do not like when people touch your things. That could be like a big pet peeve of yours." So I told her, "Well, it it was innocent. I just I love to read. I saw a book on top of your purse. I didn't go through your purse. I picked it up and said, 'Hey, this is what you're reading. How is it?'" And when I did that, she didn't say anything. She didn't say it bothered her. She didn't say it was a problem. She just said, "Oh, yeah, it's a good book." I put it back on top of her purse and we both went on with our days. But the fact that you did not communicate with me that it bothered you that much, and then you start being rude to me, you start pushing me around at work, you start not being a good teammate because as a waitress, we're all kind of helping each other. I'm not just running my tables. If I can help, run your tables, I will do so. Um, and not communicating with, during the shift is like a big no-no, mostly when there's a lot of people in the restaurant. And I told her, "Well, why didn't you tell me before that it was such a big problem? Because you should have just told me. I would have apologized. I would have said, 'I'm sorry, I'll never do it again.' Problem solved. Problem solved." But on top of that, instead of that, you just didn't say anything and you held a grudge against me. Because I guess some people hold a grudge against you because in their mind, you should have realized by yourself you did something wrong when they didn't say anything about it, and you should go apologize when you're unaware. You have no idea. If somebody had seen the book I was reading and said, "Oh, how is it?" It's fine. That's not a problem to me, but to her it was. And I understand. I told her, I understand, and I will never touch your stuff again. You can be sure of that. Because in my mind, what I thought was, if that's how you react when people touch your shit, I never want to touch your stuff ever again. But you should just told me, because then I had coworkers coming to me saying, "Yeah, Mina was so upset because you touched her stuff. You went through her purse." That's what she was telling other people. I went through her purse. I was rude. I didn't apologize. But I had no idea that it was that big of a problem. And I've been thinking about it because many times in my life, people have not communicated with me. And people would just blame me for doing things that I either didn't remember because they would come and talk about it like 6 months later or a year later or 5 years later, or, you know, blame me for something I hadn't done or something that to me was innocent. And I will, and I mean, I can say it, I'm very assertive about it. I'm very confident about it that I consider myself a good person. So I do not do things or say things with a malicious intent or trying to harm people, trying to hurt people. So if I hurt somebody's feelings, it's never on purpose. It's never on purpose. But the thing is, because people, and again, I'm not perfect, so it might happen that I hurt other people's feelings or that I do something they don't like. But instead of telling me, Roxanne, hey, you did this or you said this, they don't tell me. They start telling everyone Roxanne is this awful mean person. She did this, and they usually, make it sound bigger than it seems. They will tell people Roxanne never apologized, and I'm on the other side of the wall, completely clueless because I had no idea I had hurt your feelings, that was such a big deal to you. Um, and so instead of giving me the opportunity to apologize by telling me that I had done something that had hurt your feelings, I don't get to do so because you never tell me. And what usually ended up happening was people stopped talking to me, people start telling me, "Yeah, you're so mean, you did this and that." And usually by the time it gets to me, the story has changed, things have been taken out of proportions. It's like I have no idea what people are talking about because somebody's cousin comes and tells me, "Yeah, you did this to this person at school." And I'm like, "So that was like a year ago. That's not really what happened. And I didn't even do it on purpose." But nobody told me anything. So it makes me look like I was this vile person, that I was mean and I was trying to be, super hurtful when actually it was an accident. It was probably a joke or something innocent. And because the other person didn't tell me, you know, it became so big. It got so big. And so I ended up being excluded from friend groups. I ended up, alone, people not talking to me, and I was not given the opportunity to course correct. I saw this term recently on Instagram and I thought that was so good because if these people had come up to me and told me what was wrong, I could have said, "I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Problem solved. Let's move on." And that's it. That's the end of that. But I also believe, and I also know, because a lot of these people that started blaming me for these tiny little things, I think they were looking for a reason to pin me as the bad guy. They were looking for a reason to exclude me. They were waiting for the first little mistake I would make that if anybody else had done, they would have said, "Oh, I forgive you. It's all good. We're still homies." They didn't want to do that for me. They were waiting for the first time I would fuck up to say, "Bye bye, Roxanne. We don't want to be friends with you no more." And I got that a lot because I used to be the big, big, big girl. I used to be morbidly obese. I think I was 300 pounds. I'm not sure of like the equivalents because here in France we use kilos. So in kilos, I was 120 kilos. So at least 250 pounds, something like that. And I was smaller than I am now. I used to be like a meter 58 or a meter 60, and I haven't grown much since. So I was real small and real big. I had a lot of acne. I was super shy. I didn't have any kind of confidence. You know, I mean, I wasn't attracting people. People didn't necessarily want to be friends with me. People didn't necessarily want to be around me. So I feel like, on top of the not knowing how to communicate problem, people were trying to find these little things to exclude me because they didn't want me in their friend group. They didn't want me around them. But it's hurtful. And like this event that happened at work with my colleague that I called Mina, I was trying to let it roll off my back, but it did hurt my feelings because you are trying to make me look bad in front of everyone when it is such a small thing that you could have just come up to me and told me right away or the next day. I would have said sorry, and it would have been a genuine apology. I would have said, I'm so sorry, honey, I won't ever do it again. And I haven't since because I know how bad it is. But I had a colleague, I had a colleague on vacation for 2 weeks. All right. She came back a couple days ago. What did Mina tell her? Oh, Roxanne, she went through my purse. She was looking through my stuff. She was looking through my stuff and looking at the books that I had in there. Why, when we have talked about it, I came up to you and I asked you what the problem was. I'm trying to communicate, but it's a you problem, not a me problem, okay? You were upset about something. You should have come to me. I came to you. You calmly said, "Oh, well, it's about the book and I didn't really like it." And I told her, "Well, are we good now? Do you accept my apology?" You said yes. She said yes. So why, when somebody comes back from vacation and they were unaware of the situation, why did you feel the need to go to them and tell them what happened? Because you want people to not like me. I mean, that's what I interpret from this. You want people to take your side. You want people to believe you. There's some malicious intent behind that, because in my mind, and that's how I function, um if we have talked things through, there's no reason for me to go talk about it to other people. And to start with, I don't talk about my problems with one individual person to other people because they are not the person that I have a problem with. The only person I go talk to about my problems is my dad or my cousin. That's it. Because yes, of course, I like to talk to them about my problems. I like to vent. I need to vent sometimes. But if I have a problem with a coworker, I'm not gonna go tell my other coworkers I got a problem with this specific coworker. It makes no sense. And most people are not trustworthy. So they will go tell the coworker, "Hey, this girl said this about you." And it usually is transformed. Usually the words are taken out of their original context. So, you got to be careful. So, you know, it's a shame. It's a shame, and I've been a victim of people that don't know how to communicate. Now, they're good people that don't know how to communicate, and they're also bad people that don't know how to communicate. I have fallen victim of both of these people. I can forgive the good people because it's not always easy to communicate. But the bad people, oh, I don't even want to hear about it no more. I don't even want to see you or talk to you no more. And that Mina girl that I was getting along with just fine, I just thought, I'm not going to be as close to her as I thought I could be, because we were getting along very well. And that's why when I saw a book on her purse, I thought, I can just pick it up and look at the title. It is not going to be like a big deal. but it was. So I realized we can only be coworkers. We cannot be friends. Because if that's how you react for such a small thing, I mean, and even if I'm not saying, again, as I said, everybody has their preferences. I'm not saying it's not important. I understand that you don't want people to touch your stuff, but you need to tell people when shit bothers you. You need to tell people because then you can't be so surprised. Oh, well, they never apologized for it. They never said anything about it. Because to me, I had no idea it was that bad. I had no idea. If I had punched you in the face, yes, I would know that's not real nice and I would have apologized for it. I would have never done it in the first place, just to be clear. But that is a lot more obvious. But looking at somebody's book, that was not obvious to me that it was that um, problematic. So, it's complicated. And I also kind of have that problem because, again, in the past, when I have expressed my emotions or my needs, people usually did not care, would push me away, would, you know, make it make me feel like it was not important. How you feel, what you need, Roxanne, that doesn't matter to us because you're the big girl with a lot of acne. Nobody wants to be your friend. Nobody wants to date you. You're considered, less than others. So why would your feelings matter? That's basically my experience in middle school and high school. When every time somebody said something mean about my appearance or etc., etc., and I would tell them to stop, they didn't stop. They didn't care if it hurt my feelings, if it made me sad or angry. People just kept doing it. And so it was like rejection after rejection after rejection. And it became harder and harder for me to express how I felt because in my mind, that's the kind of reaction I'm going to get from people. Because every time I try to express how I feel, how I deeply feel when something bothers me, it's like I get slapped in the face. So I've tried to work on that. It's better than before. But it's true that it's still difficult for me to tell people, hey, what you did hurt my feelings. Like, I sugarcoat things to the maximum. Well, maybe not the maximum. No, maybe. No, I'm exaggerating a little bit. But I do sugarcoat things a lot because I feel like if I don't, people will get very defensive or angry very quickly. So I have to say, hey, honey, listen. This, what you said, it bothers me, and I don't want to bother you by telling you, but, could you please not do it again? I'm working on that still. I can do it. Before, I couldn't even do it at all. I couldn't do it at all. I had to just put up with people's bullshit because I didn't know how to set my personal boundaries. And as I said before, I'm still working on that. But um, after years of people dismissing my emotions and um, not caring or reacting in such an aggressive way, it has made it hard for me to do so. So, you know, I also need to work on it. But when something does bother me, I might not be able to say it right away. But I will not be telling other people. But when I have built up the courage to do so, I will go see the person like I did with Mina. I waited for a week to see if, as I said, if she was having a bad week, I'll let it go. But she was not having a bad week. She was just being mean to me. So I waited for a week. I waited for her to be alone. I did that in private. I took my very soft and sweet tone of voice and I said, hey, Mina, what's wrong? Can you talk to me? I could have walked up to her at the middle of her shift in front of everybody and said, "What the hell is your problem?" I could never do that. And it would have not solved the problem. It would have just made it worse. But yeah, it's too bad that things went down that way, and I don't think I will try to like be friends with this girl because it she's not, I mean, it it wasn't the right thing to do, and she's still very cold to me. Um which is fine. I can deal with cold, but I can't deal with rudeness. You need to be cordial. We're at work, okay? If you want to hate me on your own time. Hate me at home. Hate me outside. But when we're at work, we're a team. We gotta work together. There's no room for you to, you know, mope around and be petty, be mean, be rude to me, and in front of customers as well. Because customers can go online and say, what the hell is going on with the staff? Very rude to each other. Like, because I'm saying that because my manager pays very close attention to the comments we get online about the restaurant in general. So he would be very upset if we got a comment like that. But anyhow, um, that's what I wanted to talk about today because it's been weighing on my heart a little bit. It doesn't bother me so much anymore, but last week it really did, and it was like one of the reasons why I was so upset because I just didn't understand what I was doing wrong and why she was being so mean and cold to me because in my heart I knew I hadn't done anything wrong. I hadn't done anything that would justify that kind of behavior towards me. And even when she told me, it explained why she was like that, but it didn't justify. Because you could be upset at someone, but like Jesus, you can give them the benefit of the doubt. It's the first time I made the mistake. I don't know your modus operandi. I don't know how you work. So you could have given me the benefit of the doubt and told yourself, okay, this is the first time that Roxanne touches my stuff. I'm gonna tell her it bothers me, end of story, but that she shouldn't do it again. If I had done it like 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, yeah, I can get it that you would get upset. But the first time, and a lot of people do that, they get upset the first time you make a mistake when I don't know how you work. I don't know like what bothers you and what doesn't bother you. So that's why you gotta tell people. That's why people need to communicate about how they feel. And that's why I need to learn how to communicate how I feel better. That's why people need to do it. Also for your own comfort, for us to live in peace. Because if we can't do that, then it's just, it's gonna be very hard to live all together, and it already is. So, you know, it was kind of a bummer, but as I said, I'm kind of over it now. But anyhow, because I'm almost done with the video, I went and got my nails done today. I'm very happy because I'm going to Berlin and then I'll be going to Albania. So the 2 last weeks of September I'll be off on my little trips. I didn't do anything this summer because I was in Guadeloupe still. Um, I was doing my finals and then I came back to France and I just spent time with family. I was taking care of like so many kind of administrative papers, etc. I was applying for my French passport and I finally got it, but I only had my American passport my whole life and the French ID card, la carte d'identité française. Um, but yeah, outside of that, I had a very good day. I just went to the doctor's office because I'm gonna get some different vaccines because I'm moving abroad next year, and just a little checkup, just to make sure everything's up to date and I'm doing good. And I had like a little stomach pain, so I mean, I have a very good immune system, but I don't want anything bad to settle. And a lot of people have been sick because again, the weather, like, sorry, the temperature completely dropped, so people are starting to get sick. And I'm working like almost every day, so I don't want to get sick. And I'm going on a trip, so I definitely don't want to be sick because it would kind of ruin my trip. So, yeah, wanted to do a little checkup, and now I'm going to post my drawing of the day. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. As I said, I'm going to be very consistent with this YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting, I was going to say a lot of videos. As many videos as I can because I'm busy. I work. I have a lot of things going on. But I will try to be as consistent as I can be. And I really appreciate you taking the time to watch. If you have any kind of video ideas, leave them in the comments. Even drawing ideas, like, you can give me drawing ideas on Instagram, but you can give me drawing ideas here in the comments on my YouTube videos. It's absolutely not a problem. And I hope you have a lovely day. Bisous!